Well, hello there. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are. I'm Hazel. I'm here. I'm joined today by my co-host, Kat. Kira is her name. She has a name. She's not just named Kat. I use them interchangeably. And if you were to poll her, I don't know, and Poll, not Pull. Don't poll your cat. If you were to poll the cat, I don't know. I don't know what she would tell you her name is. Cat is there. Sad that wow TBC. Happy April 1st, everybody. I would tell you that I thought I tried to think of a cool joke to do, but that's barely even true. It occurred to me that I never do April Fool's jokes, and that's because I both can never think of any good ones, and also a lot of the times the content creator ones are just I'm quitting, JK, and that's just it's been done. So I'm here. I am planning on doing largely. Oh, that's not the button. This button. That's the one. Largely the same thing that went down yesterday. We got this Dark Iron Dwarf Fire Mage to level 18. She's getting close to faster Grand Mount speed. And I mostly just want to run around and fireball things and very, very slowly, like subliminally absorb how Fire Mage works through the process of not directly learning it at all. You know how there was like this big fantasy. There was like a big phase, not fantasy, I'm sure to some extent it might have worked. I actually have no idea, but there was like a big phase of sleep tapes. You know, people would get them to help you stop smoking. People would get sleep tapes that would like talk to you in your sleep to tell you to go get them, or, you know, whatever it is that you were trying to do. And there was like this I remember I did a school research project on grade school, mind you, probably like grade 6, research project on subliminal messages and whether or not they worked. And the point of this story is that it was very appealing because it was like an incredibly low effort way to learn something. Like at the time you're in school, you're trying to learn something, obviously it's hard, and you're like, man, what if I could just go to bed and then still have learned it? And that's kind of what I'm doing here, is instead of actually like going on a target dummy, I mean, to be fair, I'm level 18, but instead of, you know, putting in the work on the target dummy or watching streams or, you know, reading through discords, I figure I'm just gonna level and press the buttons and you know, hope that I just like absorb it via osmosis. It's crazy we're already in April. April 1st joke is to say that you're not going to quit and then quit. That, I mean, people will be waiting for the gotcha for ages. It's a long time Fire Mage. I'm all for the stream. Sometimes you just want to watch the world burn from your own fireballs. I'll need legendary crafting. The armor's so expensive. Yeah, the higher tier pieces especially. I've been living under the assumption that they would all eventually come down in price. Ooh, look, see, I sold some stuff. I got like 500 gold. Copper sells. Do I want to do Westfall questing? Do I want to do Duskwood questing? I can really do a lot of things. Like you have options. A lot of these, now that I'm level 15, I can go pretty much, like I could go to the Eastern Plaguelands if I really wanted to. Western, like these quests are fine. You hit a point pretty early. I'll probably do the early Westfall ones, but as soon as I get to the point where you get down to Furlbraz Farm, that's usually about where I dip. There are some low drop rates in one of those quests, and I just usually head on to Duskwood. You do gold farming? What do I do now? If you have level 60s, it's honestly not bad to just do the raw gold of doing your callings, doing reputation to get those Paragon caches, doing, if you have a healer or a tank, that you can do random heroic dungeon call to arms queues. Those have about 4k gold in them each. And you can knock one of those out in like 15 minutes or so, especially if you get lucky and you get a good tank, if assuming that you're healing. You can gather, you can try to think of stuff that's not too complicated, that doesn't have any like a learning curve. Also, because I have not done any of the learning curves in Shadowlands, I have not really spent any time, so I wouldn't know what to tell you. But yeah, raw gold has been good for me. Mostly just callings, world quests, call to arms satchels, and Paragon caches. All pretty solid. We have Eternal Ballad with a 20-month resub. Hey Hazel, hope you're having a good day. Thank you. Also Janahita with a 13-month resub. Thank you very, very much. I so rarely catch your stream live. Wanted to say thank you so much. I can't have a cat at my current place, so I'm loving seeing Kira. Congrats on the new place and having your new cat bed accepted. Love the VoDs. Aw, shucks. Thank you. I got a second option of cat bed here yesterday. And I have not yet persuaded her to try that one out, although it was probably for the best because I needed to use it it was very important. I decided I wanted to watch an episode of a K-drama last night while I was having dinner. And I am somebody that in the past, if I was watching a show with dinner, I would sit at the table like a normal person, more or less. I guess sometimes I'd put my feet up, not on the table, but I'm a pretzel. And I would sit and eat for as long as it took me to eat, usually about 15 minutes or so. And then I would go curl up on the couch with like my tea or my water, whatever, for the rest of the show, because sitting in a regular chair for an hour is apparently just too much for me. So this time I sat and I ate and I was done. I was like, well, normally I would go curl up on the couch, but I don't have a couch. So how can I make this dining chair comfier to curl up and just watch the rest of the show on? And I didn't have any, you know what I had is I had a new cat bed that the cat hadn't broken in yet. And it was like kind of fluffy and kind of squishy and kind of just like malleable enough that for me to kind of wedge it against the back of the chair. And I was using that, but then the cat came downstairs and I'm like, oh, sorry, honey, do you want the bed? So I tried to offer it to her, but she either didn't want my leftovers or she just wasn't in the mood for it. And she went back upstairs and I reclaimed the cat bed. Good boy, Steam. Thank you for the 3-month resub. Getting here. How is everyone? What's up, Dylan? I'm thirsty. I made a tea. I made a British breakfast tea. That's what it's called. It's the Tetley British Blend tea. I had brought black tea with me. I brought loose leaf black teas, so for the past week or so, whenever you've seen me with a big mug of black tea, I'd loose leaf steeped it, which is better and is not harder, but sometimes I am just so lazy that sometimes I'm just in the mood for a bagged black tea, like a really cheap one. I don't know. So I was at the store. I went grocery shopping yesterday evening and got myself some of the Tetley stuff because I wanted to, and now I'm drinking it because I'm a grown-up and I can do whatever I want. And I moved to a new state. First thing I did was buy a couch. How's Kitty doing learning stairs? Oh, she's got the stairs down just fine. She still doesn't like going downstairs, but I don't think it's that she doesn't like the stairs. I think that the actual downstairs area is not attractive to her, and I think after an experience I had last night, I think I now know why, and it's not just the couch. Certain Torghast wings offer certain powers. Yeah, the leave resetting thing got fixed. You can't do that anymore. But yeah, no, I think the powers are random. Unless you mean legendary powers, in which case I still think they're random. I don't think, no, the legendary powers can be connected to certain wings, but the Torghast powers, the anima powers, those ones I think are just random. As a Brit, there's something really good about a standard cup of tea. Yeah, I like having one just as an option because sometimes that's just what you want. In a similar vein, at the grocery store, I also did purchase Kraft Dinner mac and cheese because sometimes I just want that. Blame the daycare that I went to as a kid that would serve it to us. Something about the food that we have when we're children occasionally will get just ingrained into you. This rare can drop a dagger transmog, and I know because I camped it for like a week when I first got into my All the Things obsession because it like would not drop for me, and the transmog was available. I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I know what I'm doing wrong, so I guess that's a good start. The transmog is, it was on the auction house for like 2k gold. I could have afforded it with like, it would not have been bank breaking to just buy it, but that's besides the point. Angel21SE with a 4-month resub. Thank you very, very much. My BF describes steeping tea as marinating water, and it really bothers me. That sounds like somebody that hasn't, that is either extremely accustomed to much stronger drinks, so even a good tea will taste kind of like water, or somebody that's just made tea wrong before. I think that, because, you're not marinating water, you're marinating tea in water, right? Like, I blame restaurants and hotels and waiting rooms that when they offer you coffee or tea, and you say, oh, I'll have a tea, thank you. And then they give you water from the hot water tap of their water cooler, and then they plunk a tea bag in it, and they just hand it to you like that. I imagine somebody that was like waiting at their, accountant's office, or I don't know where people go. I imagine somebody was waiting at an office somewhere, and they decided, you know what, today's the day I'm gonna try tea, and that was the moment they picked to do it, and that's why they don't like tea, is because they think that's what tea is. Oh man. Hey squirrels, happy Thursday. It's not how marinating works. Not particularly. Are Pokemon shaped mac and cheese still a thing? Was that ever a thing? Joy Thrive Glow, thank you for the 19-month resub. Get all start farming rep in Dungeons and Raids. Don't forget Frost Armor. I have Blazing Barrier, which I am going to forget copiously. that is the plan, is I'm probably going to forget that a lot. So one thing that I do now have that I should be a little more aware of is the fact that if I get a crit, my Fire Blast is now a guaranteed crit. 2 crits in a row gives me an instant pyro. And I can tell when I've gotten 1 crit from my fireball with the little heating up graphics. So if I keep an eye on that, I can learn, I suppose perhaps, and I don't know if this is how it works, I suppose perhaps I could save my Fire Blast cast for after I've gotten that first crit of Fireball so that I can then guarantee have a follow-up Insta-Pyro, because otherwise I'm never going to Pyro Blast. That sounds true. Excited that today's Thursday, new Critical Role episode comes out today. How you doing? Wanted to ask how many mounts you have in your journal. You've got 480, goodness! You are rocking and rolling. I have 496. 496. You're catching up hard and quickly though. I have not been speed acquiring mounts. I'm sure there's some Shadowlands ones I could do. That's the trick. Only blast when you're heating up. Okay. I need to go into the cave. That's the thing. Never want to hard cast, and you generally only want to blast when your hot streak is gone. Okay. I will do so then. I want to try this tea. Hello, Hazel. Hello. How you doing? So, that dinner I got last night was pretty good, though. I made the mistake of grocery shopping while hungry. I had been explicitly warned during stream to not do that. And also, this is wisdom that I've heard before in my life. But, you know, I didn't want to go right after stream because my stream ended at 5. And that's like prime people stopping at the store on their way home from work time. And I wanted to go and it was a little bit quieter. But so I was going to wait until like late, but then I was like, well, I don't really have anything for dinner yet. So perhaps I should go before I get super hungry so I can either make food when I get home, or more likely there, you know, it's in kind of like a shopping complex. I could pick up some food on the way back. And then also because I had never been to this particular store before, I decided I didn't really want to go while it was dark. I wanted to have, also this is kind of fun. This is kind of working. I didn't want to go while it was dark, so I procrastinated until like 6:30, and then I was like, to heck with it, I'm going to the store, and then I will pick up food on the way back. But by then I was pretty hungry. Okay, so we do this one, and then I don't want to use the whole pyro on that guy because he's almost toast. But if we get this guy, he's barely toast at all. There we go, that's the stuff. See, Fire Mage can level, not that anybody told me it couldn't. Nene, thank you for the brand new set. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. Dabbling with an Arcane Mage. It's surprisingly unintuitive, but only making me want to figure it out. How goes fire? I think I've just hit a sweet spot with fire where it just got fun. I think for the first, 5-10 levels or so for me, I was a little confused as to what my plan was. Like, it felt like it just kept getting me buttons that I wasn't allowed to use. And I feel like I am now having a slightly better sense of the basics of how the buttons fit together, so that's good. You do have to stop casting to Fire Blast until level 30 something. That is true what you're saying, but it doesn't kick in until level 32 is when that happens. Deanie, thank you for the 17-month resub. With Firestarter, open with the Hot Streak Fireball into Blast Pyro, start chaining crits and just mow through groups of mobs. It's probably inappropriate for me to make dad jokes since I'm not a dad. You might even call it a faux pas. I've come to expect nothing less from you. Thanks for being helpful with WoW. Want to say appreciate it? Oh, I try. I'm not always right, but that's the risk that comes with saying things online, I think. Worst case scenario, there's always Wowhead. Love the lights in the shelf. I should probably think about evolving my color scheme. I've had purple for a long time. I was gonna try to fish around to find something that had a little more contrast with my hair, actually. I was looking at my camera and I was trying to figure out, this is the most shallow problem I've ever had that's not actually a problem. But for the last couple of days, I think I look cuter in the mirror than I do on camera, and I couldn't figure out why, because it's a nice camera. The lens is not a crazy distorting lens. It's not super narrow or super wide. And the proportions are about the same, but something about the colors is off. And I think I realized it's because my hair sort of a little bit blends into the background in a way that, that makes it have a little bit less definition. So I was thinking about messing with the color, but I'm getting my hair done on Saturday and I am going for something different. So, or different than I've had recently. So this is a short-lived problem, and I'm not going to mess with it now. I will mess with it later. Dark Iron females have a serious stride when running. The males don't run like that. Fire Mage or Frost Mage while leveling. Frost is generally recommended, especially if you are newer, because the thing with mages is they're really squishy. They take a lot of damage, and Frost has more tools to help you kite and avoid dying. But Fire just seems to be a good time, and I'm enjoying it. And I've never been one to let leveling guides tell me what to do. Phoenix Flames. This is new. Hurls a phoenix that deals damage to the target, reduce damage to nearby enemies, instant cast 2 charges. Lit. Okay, so that will be good, because often I'm finding that these mobs have like a little bit of health left, and I want to finish them, but I don't want to use the Fire Blast because I need to keep that for later. To love bad, giving out a gift sub. Thank you very, very much. Paying for the gift sub. Add-on for frames, shadowed unit frames. Super Mez guy already though, of course. Itching to get my hair recolored. Second dose is next week. I'm so close. Oh man, it is good. Scorch can be cast while moving. That is true. I've been told that Scorch is kind of a waste of time. Or like it's used in PvP or something. Or I guess if I had to move, but at this level, it's not like I really have raid mechanics to deal with, so I can get by with not worrying about it. Ooh, that guy is I was about to say an elite. That's not true. He's a rare. All right, so we do that, and then we do that, and then we can use the pyro on him. Good stuff. I do kind of like the animations. I want to get a slightly closer zoom and check her out a little bit more. Let's see. I feel like the squishy fire mage is a myth. We're plenty tough. The dream with leveling mages, and this is the same thing that goes for arcane, is that it doesn't matter how squishy you are if you can kill whatever you're fighting before it gets to you. And you do still have Frostbolt. Like, if it's really ruining your life, you can open with a Frostbolt and then live your life. You also still have Frost Nova, you still have Blink, you have a barrier spell. It doesn't seem like it's that life or death. I feel like that's just one of those pieces of conventional wisdom that fire is safer. That is true, technically, but it's gone from being a tip to feeling more mandatory than it really is. No raid mechanics at level 19. I am level 19. I must have leveled. Mage offense is not only your best defense, basically the only defense. How many times have you done this quest? Quite a few. Quite a few. These are some comfort quests for me, for sure. Yeah, I find Mage to be one of the tougher things to level. A lot of people complain about leveling Priest. And while I agree that it is a little less intuitive than a lot of things, Priest has spammable self-heals, at least within the limits of your mana bar. And Priest has shield, and Priest has spells that include self-healing, and Priest also has tons of damage. So I feel like I die more on mages than I ever did on priests. Yeah, the plan is to stay fire. She's a Dark Iron Dwarf just because her hair matches the fire theme. Although I am starting to feel like maybe this transmog is a little too warlocky. Like, I like the idea of the skimpy robe, but maybe this isn't the one. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Yeah, Hunter's super, super chill for leveling for sure. Okay, so we fish for crits and we get one, and then there we go. Good stuff. Chromie Syncticata, you can level to 50 through the whole old world quest. True. So I have mentioned in my most recent house cleaning saga, I seem to share a lot of these. I feel like a disproportionate amount of the stories I tell on stream are about different challenges I'm tackling and trying to clean my home. And since I've moved, I have been dealing with the fact that this place, while very nice and I like it very much and it's working great for me, was not professionally cleaned in any way before I moved in. Yada yada, renters' rights, yada yada. Yes, I should get somebody to do it for me, either paying them or complaining to my landlord. But that doesn't sound like a me thing. What sounds like a me thing is figuring out how to fix it myself, because 1, I don't have to talk to anybody. 2, I don't have to let anybody into my house and therefore bother my cat and like disrupt my schedule. And 3, then I have some experience in how to deal with it in case I ever need to deal with it again myself in a different place. So the current struggle, the one that's actually bothering me, is the downstairs carpet has a scent. It has a scent that is reminiscent of people that have pets that have done a poor job of cleaning up after them. And that's not great. We don't love that. So I had bought one of my first weekends here, my first shopping trips here. I bought a bottle of Enzyme pet spray cleaner just because I have a cat and, I want to be able to clean up after her if anything happens. And I was going to try spot cleaning the carpet downstairs, but I couldn't really tell where it was localized to. So at the suggestion of my Twitch chat, I purchased a black light. Superfan Mark, thanks for the 12-month resub. Thanks for the what to do at level 60 video. Helped me greatly. I'm glad it worked for you. Also, Scary Larry Games, thanks for the 6-month resub. Thanks for being you. Aw, shucks. Oh no. Yeah, oh no is right. So I get this black light, and all of the advice online about using a black light in your home is like, wait until nighttime, right? Like, you want to wait until it's dark. You want to turn off your lights. If you're trying to do this in the day, do some blackout curtains or something, but you want to use it when it's really dark so you can get a good read on it. And so, of course, I wait until after dinner, and then it's like pitch black. So I turn off all the lights, and it's just my cat's asleep upstairs. It's just me alone in the dark with my little UV flashlight. And I decide to start at the entryway, and I turn it on, and some of the carpet fibers seem to luminesce, but just like individual ones, and it seems like that's just kind of part of the way the carpet pattern is. So I'm not too worried about that. And I'm like immediately relieved that the entire thing is not just like ruined. I'm like, okay, this makes sense. This area does not smell. It looks okay. This is what okay looks like. And I progress into the main room. I do the stairs. The stairs are pretty much okay. There's like a little patch at the top of the stairs. But then my other question was, if I find something with this light, also this quest is not working. If I find something with this light, will my Enzyme pet spray cleaner fix it, or is this just doomed forever and I'm gonna have to live with this for the rest of my life? So I found a little spot, and I sprayed it, and I did the usual thing, and I like scrubbed it out. I have gloves, paper towel, and I fixed it. I'm like, okay, this is solvable, this is dealable, I can do this. And then I get down to the area that I had been smelling, and it's not great. It's like kind of the opposite of great. It's very bad. I would say that 20, no, that's not, because it's not like the whole carpet, but many large spots, probably 7 to 10, 1 to 2 foot different patches of area on this, and you can tell because you can smell them. So I like start on one end and I start trying to work through it, but like the surface area is kind of large. And I feel like as I'm spraying it with this cleaner, I'm just angering it. Like, you can smell the spray cleaner, you can smell the carpet smell. It's dark still because I never turned on the light because I needed to be able to keep checking where I was working. And I feel like I'm just angering it. So I take a minute, I take a break, and I decide to go look through the rest of the area just to see what I'm working with. So I checked around upstairs. Like, this office is totally clean. My bedroom, thank goodness, is totally fine. There was nothing wrong in there. The hallway, fine. But there's a spot by the entryway that I had been using to store my recycling bins. And there is probably a 4-foot area that is just 4 foot square, glowing in like a puddle shape with drips going in a path to the kitchen. And it's like, it's a murder corner. I don't know what happened there. It can't have been blood, because there's no way somebody could get that much blood cleaned out of the carpet, because the carpet's not stained. It looks fine. If you don't have the UV light on, it looks totally fine. But like the other stains, you can tell are probably pet accidents because of the shape of them and because of the size of them. But this is like a 4-foot puddle of something that somebody, like, it feels like maybe somebody had like a trash bag filled with something that was dripping as they tried to get it to, like, I don't know what happened there. So that's my murder corner. I decided I was going to need bigger firepower than my paper towels and spray cleaners. So I looked online at renting like a rug doctor or something, but a lot of the places around me won't do them right now. They're just not doing rentals, I think, because of COVID. And I looked around online and I found a smaller one that I can probably more reasonably physically handle that did have decent reviews. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to like steam clean my own carpet, which also will probably get some other gross stuff out of it. So that's just going to be worth a try. Worst case scenario, I just do my very, very best on it. And then if I still can't fix it, then hopefully it at least smells better for my efforts. And then I just put the black light in a corner and try to never think about it again until I move. Because this is not my forever home. This story, if it's going to illustrate anything to you, should tell you very clearly how little I want to ask my landlords to fix stuff for me, because this is really their problem. But Yeah, you can't come in my house. Nobody allowed in my house but me. Mm. I'm not sure it was blood. It's just the drip pattern in a path to the kitchen made me think that it probably isn't urine unless somebody had like a trash bag of urine somehow that was like dripping, right? At least it's downstairs. Yeah. Oh, carpet shampoo might help. That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna do my best to fix it. And if my best isn't good enough, then at least I tried and hopefully it smells a little better. There's areas of the place that are fine and it's not like the end of the world. I don't think it's a health risk. I don't think it's going to make me sick, but I do think that's probably why my cat does not like it downstairs. Is maybe not the murder corner. I don't know what the murder corner doesn't smell. I sniffed it. I'm brave. I went and I thoroughly sniffed the murder corner to try to figure out what the heck had happened there. I got nothing. It smells fine. It smells totally fine. So, but the rest of it, the pet stains you can smell, and I think the cat can smell them, and that's probably why she's not super comfy downstairs. So I'm going to give the carpet a pretty good shampoo. I've heard that's a very satisfying thing to do anyways. So I'm sure it's going to be a lot of work, but you know, I need exercise. I'm kind of looking forward to it. It kind of sounds fun. Hoover carpet washer, cheaper than renting the rug doctor. After the cover up, it's probably the cleanest spot in the house. We need a murder corner stream. If I can't just keep a trash bag of urine, what's the point of renting? I don't get it because these are like fairly nice places too. It's not a super swanky place, but it does not seem like some place where somebody would have just, you know, stashed a leaking body in a corner. Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see what I can do about that. I do really like cleaning though. Not for other people. I don't like cleaning up other people's mess, but if it's my mess or like my pet's mess, I mean, I don't thoroughly like cleaning up after them, but I'll do it. But, you know, I don't, if it's just me, I'm on board. I do not mind. It's kind of satisfying. Yeah, I considered trying to film the black light, but I don't know if it would work. And then also I don't know if I like you guys and you don't need to have my nightmares. Another webcam set it on the murder corner. Watch for signs of anything paranormal. Yeah, it is probably for the best that I am not terribly superstitious. Even if it turned out that somebody had literally stashed a body there, I don't think that would bother me that much. Like, clearly it's gone, right? Like, the body is no longer there. The tenants have moved on. The door locks. Nobody coming for me. I'm not terribly concerned about being haunted. And if I was haunted, I feel like, you know, the ghost has got to know it's not my fault. I just rent the place. I didn't build it. Oh man. Use some new nightmares. The old ones are getting boring. Yeah, I feel like this will be a good practical lesson in what can and cannot be gotten out of a carpet. If I owned this place, I would just replace the carpet. If I owned it, it cannot cost that much to replace a couple of rooms worth of carpet. And then you can pick out something that looks nicer and that does not have like nightmares in it. But I don't want to do that for a landlord that's, you know, just gonna take it when I leave. Also, these are the quests that I usually leave. So let's get out of here. Let's not do any more Westfall questing. Let's go to Duskwood instead. Also, I need some game sound. I have it turned on. It's just I don't have it turned on, you know? There we go. A little bit of that. Man. Probably a leaky trash bag, large array of ground beef or steaks or something. Spoiler, ghost haunted Hazel's apartment, also subs. Always the old gods. That would be a real twist, is if this place was somehow genuinely haunted and then haunted enough to make me believe in ghosts. I am not so close-minded as to say that nothing that I don't have proof of can be true. I think there's probably a lot of things that I don't have proof of or am aware of that can be true. I think that you know, as society and technology progresses, we learn about a lot of things that were previously unknown to us. If you tried to explain a lot of current scientific concepts to somebody from 200 years ago, they would have thought you were crazy. So I'm sure there are things that are outside of my understanding, but I am disinclined to believe in hauntings being physically dangerous, I think would be the thing. Like, if it turned out that there are genuine ghosts and that places can be haunted, then, you know, that's fine. But I think that the odds of ghosts actually physically murdering me, I'm probably good. Cannot replace the carpet without clearing with the landlord. Yeah. Yeah, I actually read my whole lease. It was the first time I'd signed a lease all by myself. So when I got it, I sat down and I read the whole thing, page to, like corner to corner, and then made notes of it as well for like the things that were going to be, that could potentially come up, which isn't that much. But now, because I have read my lease, you know, front to back, I know all the violations that my neighbors are doing. I'm not, you know, I'm not ratting anybody out, but there's some like weirdly specific things in the lease that I won't get too much into that, you know, they don't really bother me, but you know, there's like visual stuff, right? Like you're only allowed to have certain colors of pots in your balconies or whatever. And I know that because I read the lease, but it feels like a lot of people skim that part and that nobody is banging down your door to tell you to change the color of pot that your begonias are in. If a ghost kills you, then you could become a ghost and then ghost fight. Oh, the argument that people that get eaten by ghosts always give before being eaten by ghosts. Eaten by ghosts. I guess if it's a cannibal ghost or like a tiger ghost. Yo, a ghost tiger would be so metal. I would be scared, but I don't know if I would be mad. Why does color matter? Just because they can. Policy. I feel like they're what they're probably trying to protect against is somebody having just like an outrageously ugly stuff on their balcony, and then you're touring a new tenant through the property trying to convince them to come live in this lovely place, and there's just like real out of left field zany stuff. That wouldn't bother me as a prospective tenant, but I'm sure there are people uptight enough to be like, I don't want to live here. 2B has got a real eyesore of a barbecue or whatever. A lot of homeowners associations and similar organizations will have rules. Like I know the place where my Nana lives, she's only allowed to paint her fence certain colors. She's only allowed to paint her house certain colors, because there's like a street look that you have to conform to, even though you own the house. Very strange. That's not even in America. That's in Canada. Finally get a spectral tiger. I forgot about spectral tigers. That's true. Actual bylaws in regard to external aesthetics. Yeah. It's bizarre. When I was a kid and I heard that Nana couldn't have certain flowers in her front yard, I was furious. I was like, how dare they? Who cares? Well, and we would like renegade plant like outlawed flowers and then just like wait for the police to come get us. So that was my biggest crime, I think. Because I you know, guerrilla planted some unapproved wildflowers in Nana's garden. But now that I'm grown up, I feel like it wouldn't bother me that much. It would still be like a little annoying, but I feel like my desire to paint a house like lime green or something has kind of dissipated over the years, and I can contain the weird visual stuff to the backyard or to inside or, you know, digitally. HOAs are Ponzi schemes. I hate them. Worth bearing in mind that says it in the lease and is legally enforceable, not necessarily the same thing. True, but as a tenant in a middle of a rough year, I am not trying to pick a fight legally with my landlord, with my neighbors, with anybody. I would rather just keep my nose clean, lay low, don't bother anybody, because just because I have the right of it in court does not mean I have any interest in going to court, or that wouldn't be kind of a life-earning thing for me. Excuse you. More stories of HOAs. Never live in an HOA. I mean, depending on the area, you may or may not have a choice. I used to tell myself the same thing, is I would go on Reddit when I was younger and I would just read HOA horror stories, and I'd be like, why would anybody ever buy a house in one of these places? But then when you start shopping for houses, which I'm not currently doing, but I have done in the past, you start looking at houses and you start realizing that a lot of the desirable neighborhoods all have them, and that you may not, like if there's a certain area you want to live, or just maybe you find your dream house and the only thing wrong with it is it has an HOA, and then you have absolutely no prospects that don't have them, or at least the prospect that you have that doesn't have them has like serious problems, then it becomes less cut and dry. I am doing this wrong. I am using my fire blast before I have heating up, and that's not right. Plants flowers, something of a rebel myself. Happy to see you, Hazel. Hope you had a good day. Doing all right. Trinity Blade, thanks for the 11-month resub, almost a year. This morning I was packaging Patreon mailouts. The legendary patrons get a little printed art card mailed to them every month. And I've been sending teal envelopes out. I like buying cute little colored envelopes. I've been sending teal ones out for ages. And I had one pack of the original purple envelopes left, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna I'm gonna be fancy. I'm gonna be special. I'm gonna open these purple envelopes and finally use them. I don't know what the shoulder dance is all about. So I open the purple envelopes. I counted out the right number of them. I get all the labels printed out. I slap them all on. And I realize, I don't know if this is why I had not used this pack of purple envelopes until this point, but they are the wrong size and they do not fit the prints that I have already made. They are the wrong size. They're too small. There is no way they will fit. And I had already done all the labels, and I didn't have enough blank labels to reprint the shipping labels. I didn't have enough sheets of blank ones left. So I was looking around. I was like, well, there's a store that's like 10 minutes from me where I could go try to shop for the correct code of Avery shipping label. Or I have some tape and I have some scissors. I could cut out the label that I stuck onto the too small purple envelope, tape it as securely as I can onto the front of the new envelope. So if you are a legendary patron expecting April mail, expect this one to look a little wonky. It's not a permanent change. I just did a dumb thing. You buy the place and secede from the HOA. One of my requirements was a new HOA. Getting a special edition this month. I'm into it. Love how Blizzard is doing Vicious Gorm before they do Vicious Allied Race Bounce. Speaking of Gorm, actually, I need to check my main. She ran a mission. I probably lost. I always lose them. But I ran a mission table mission that was for not the Gorm. I got the Gorm, but it was for the chitterling, the anima thingy. Yeah, HOA mostly means Halls of Atonement to me. In this context, we're talking about homeowners associations, but yeah, Halls of Atonement for sure. Oh, man. Would have gone the hard route and cut the purple envelope and put it around the teal. The teal envelope is bigger. The purple envelope is too small. That's the problem. Cut the purple envelope, put it around the teal. I still think Heart of Azeroth. Oh, true, actually. That is another good one. This is the problem with WoW and our collective obsession as a community with acronyms for things that didn't necessarily need acronyms, but we just go ham on acronyms with WoW stuff. And then because the game has gone on for so long and there's so many specific acronymable terms, you end up with duplicates, and then you just have to assume that people are talking about the most recent thing, but you can't always assume that. Dark Winds, thank you for the 20-month resub. This is good. This might be better than the, I think maybe I've just been craving the cheap stuff. It might be better than the loose leaf tea. Also, maybe it's because it's coming from a Murloc mug. I brought 2 big mugs. This is one of them and the BlizzCon one is the other one. And those are the 2 big mugs that I have with me. But I'd kind of forgotten that I brought this one until I saw I'd put it behind the other big one. Help, my mom doesn't believe you're reading chat live. Can you say hi to me, please? Is that Monique? Also, shout out to Monique's mom. It would be a strange trick. I've heard memes about pre-recorded streams before, but it would be a really weird trick to try to pass off a pre-recorded video as a stream, just because it is more work. It's way more work to pre-record a video than it is to just stream. Unless you're trying to. Also, I did it. And by me, I mean my companions that are now like within an inch of death. Unless you're trying to lie and pretend that you're doing some really incredible feat of esports or whatever, or like conceal that you're hacking the game in some way, there's like really no good reason to mess with that. Oh man. Always get confused when people use LFG for let's go. That I have never heard before. Don't use Venture Plan. I have it, or I had it. I just never updated it. And I've been living my life just fine. So I guess I never got around to it. Let's take a look at this one. So I think I must be now at least 2 of 4 for adventure table, adventure mounts. I wanted this one though. This one reminds me, I mean, it's basically a reskinned version of the Blood Feaster that I liked so much, but just in like really nice pink, or not pink, but purple and blue colors. I guess it's a little violet, it's a little fuchsia on the ends of the legs. I like these things a lot. This one's really cute. I want to know adventure. So yeah, I still need this one and I still need that one. But I have not been able to beat their missions yet. But we are now 2 of 4, getting there. I think that when I finish and I finally get 404, I can finally... Ooh, somebody bought my battle training stone. I can finally stop doing missions. Has that been true for you guys? Those of you who have finished and completed all 4 of the mission table mounts, are you now still doing missions or have you put it away? You keep going? Yeah, the augment runes are worth it for gold. I still do missions. Must keep missioning until they're all 60. I guess it's true that they will almost certainly be adding more missions worth doing in future patches, and at that point it will probably be a fairly smart proposition to have followers at 60. I'm so surprised by how diligent you guys are at continuing to do missions. I thought it was going to be a bunch of people that never touched them again. Anima money. Yeah, I guess I would still do them for anima. Runes pet charms. Got all 4 the other days. Have stopped. Keep leveling them. There are mission table mounts. Yeah, there's 4 mission table mounts. They are shared. Thankfully, they are shared between covenants, so you can just focus on one character. You don't have to do all the covenants. Keep trying to catch you live. Get your carpets cleaned. I'm gonna try my best to clean them myself. Yeah, I've got a carpet steamer, shampooer. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I've got a device on the way. I wasn't gonna because I was like, what am I gonna do with this when I move? And then the answer is, I don't know. Find somebody that wants one. I'm sure I can get rid of stuff if I start giving it away for free. XP, runes, gold. Need to make my WoW token somehow. Yeah, I think the problem with the reason, or one reason why I have been lazy about setting up missions aside from trying to get the mounts is that unless the mission is directly giving me anima, then it's costing me anima. And I need anima. I have not given up completely on the path of ascension. It's still somewhere on my list of things to do. But I am currently bottlenecked at needing to upgrade my path of ascension again. And I have a feeling that's going to happen like 3 more times with increasingly higher amounts of anima. So it's hard for me to justify. So that one, and that one. It's hard for me to justify spending like 50 anima to get some meat or whatever. When, you know, I need anima still, you know? Anyone, let me see, let me find some to Pyroblast. Chatterhaze, level 5, Covenant Sanctum, all others in rank 3. Oh, not I. Probably somebody in chat. I feel like you could do it if you did world quests. I just don't do world quests. And then this one, and then Fire Mage is kind of fun at this level. And maybe later levels as well. It's exciting when you get that first crit and you've got everything lined up to just kind of you get your Fire Blast, you get your Pyroblast, you just start chewing through this stuff. I feel like I forgot to pick up a quest. We can go work on these guys for a while. I remember when the Shadowlands pre-patch first dropped and everybody was leveling alts, I came out here to try to quest and I found I couldn't do it. There were so many people leveling that the competition for like the wolves and the spiders and stuff was just way too much and you just couldn't get anywhere with it. Flackbee, thank you for the brand new sub. Welcome to the Scroll Squad. Anima addiction's real. I hope you're well today. Thank you. Doing all right. It does mean, however, I got 6 seconds left to find something to Pyroblast that I should pay mildly more attention. Because now I can do this, and then I should have another one. Oh no, I'm just heating up. I feel like sometimes I confuse. Yeah, there we go. The heating up with Hot Streak. Blazing Berry is not bad. You get a whole minute, and then 283 damage absorbed is not bad considering my current health total. Like, that's all right. I do all world quests that are 105 plus anima on 6 characters. How long does that take you? Goodness. Oh man, I barely do callings on my main. Although to be fair, I could probably stop. Oh, I should have fire blasted. I could probably stop callings on my main at this point because, well, no, that's not quite true. She still needs. I feel like I'm going to continue them until I have all of the stuff that I want from Paragon caches. Those Pyroblasts do not do as much as that. Like, for all the work it takes you to get an instant Pyroblast, you kind of want it to be more effective than it is. Like, it's like maybe half of their health. What's up with that? Yeah, Fireball is definitely the way to go. It's fun to run in Scorch, but it is not better. Yeah, the UV light arrived. I told that story a little bit earlier. Upstairs is pretty clean. Upstairs is pretty safe. Downstairs is better not spoken of. Grind on 4 characters. Want all the Covenant Sanctums upgraded to max, but it's such a drag. Yeah, that sounds like it would burn me out. It would definitely be too much for me. Haven't played retail in 2 weeks. I was addicted to clearing quick 1-kill anima world quests, doing callings. What are these 1-kill anima world quests? That's my biggest problem with world quests for anima, is there's barely, like, there's almost, like, sure, you've got pet battle world quests, or there's a couple of decent ones, but for the most part, it's, like, way more annoying than that. Scorch is good when you get frenetic speed. When is that? People keep talking to me about that. When is that? 40. Okay. Increases your movement speed by 30%. Okay. Take it instead of Ring of Frost. I see. I gotcha. So at 25, my next talent is going to be... Oh, I could... Oh! I guarantee crit when I open on something with Fireball. Oh, that's why that's been working out for me. I did not put that together. I know I took that talent myself of my own accord earlier. Hey, they're rare. So for in this case, because I don't have, I guess what I'm going to do is if I do not have, I mean, I could just Pyro and then Pyro again. I could just hard cast Pyro. Cause it's like 4 seconds. If I don't mind hard casting Pyro, that's a guaranteed crit and it's a pretty good chunk of starter damage. Plus it's like kind of a fun casting animation. And then you do that, and then you're good to do it again. Oh, that's why I took Firestarter. I knew there was a reason. Missed to kill this one guy world quest. They were my favorite. I thoroughly enjoyed flying around, just mowing through world quests, and I guess it was just too easy. I don't know. The Ardenweald Seed world quest is my favorite. Just 5 seeds and you're done. Ardenweald Seed. Is that the one where you're flying around getting the pods for, like, the cocoons? No, those aren't seeds. Those are cocoons. I don't do a whole lot of world quests in Ardenweald. I don't mind Pet Battle world quests because with a TD script and with the pets that I have that I can use on them, I can just kind of one button mash my way through those. It takes a minute, but it doesn't take any attention really, which is nice. Okay, so we hard cast Pyro. And then I can get my second crit like that. And then I can get a main crit. And then there is a little bit of a dot. There is a little bit of a dot. So if I almost kill something, then I don't have to, like, Ignite should eventually take it out. Okay. Eventually. It just doesn't seem to be killing it very quickly. But, you know, it's doing something. Doing a little bit. Oh, it's a PvP world quest? Okay, I see. That would explain why I've never seen it. I have not... So far, I don't think I have turned on War Mode in Shadowlands, except for maybe once when I was trying to, like, group with somebody for it, or... There was some reason, but I certainly haven't gone to try to world PvP. Maybe that's my next phase, is I pick a DPS to PvP on, so that I can... PvP on a DPS, so that I can... world PvP. People seem to enjoy that. It doesn't sound like my thing, but, you know... My main excuse for not ever world PvPing is that when I do PvP, I'm a healer, and solo healer world PvP is nobody's idea of fun. Yeah, Fireball will also crit. I just figure if I haven't pulled it yet, there's really no harm in Pyroblasting, and that's going to do more damage. Warrior Turbo? Oh, man. It's been a minute since I have done Warrior PvP. I had a very, very, very short phase. I think it was a meme. There was like a week in Warlords when I was like, what if I was a warrior? Because it seemed like the most out of left field thing that I could do for PvP. And Demon Hunters weren't in yet. And I thought that was just really funny. Okay, I need one more spider lump. And I think I've kind of exhausted my spiders around here. I should go mine that tin. I might be able to sell it. How's Boy doing? Boy's level 50. He's around still. Roll a character on Frostmourne, you get like 120 ping, but Alliance dominates in Oceanic. Oh man, I did not realize for the longest time why Mythic plus LFG groups differentiate between Oceanic and NA groups. I was like, what do you mean? I'll play with some Australians, some New Zealanders. I mean, that's a fun time. Why not? And then I joined a group and I discovered why not. There's some lag you got to deal with there. It's fine for like a low level key, but I I imagine EU deals with that in a different scale because it's such a wider geographic region but the way it's set up in North America is that you have, Canada, America, presumably Mexico, but you also have Brazil and you have whatchamacallit, like South America, LATAM, and also Australia, New Zealand is part of the same group, and the South American servers and then also the Oceanic servers, you can all play together. It's just somebody's lagging. Somebody's lagging there. Or not lagging, but somebody's got like 200 ping. What happens if you fireball a new mob while Hot Streak is up and instantly cast your pyro? Do both crit through fireball? Fireball a new mob and insta pyro. Will both of them crit? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. EU is fine. Can never really tell. Our hub is in France. I see. Yeah, well, you're playing 2NA from EU, which not that bad. I mean, people adjust to it. People do manage. We used to have some Australian players that would raid with us, and they just they were great. They just would learn to accommodate and adapt for it. And I think for some people there are certain specs that you will or will not play if you're going to play with that much ping. US players get salty about the ping, don't realize that we here used to live with 250 average for everything. Yeah, I remember the forums when they finally decided to add Oceanic servers. It wasn't that long ago, right? So that one, and then this one. Fireball into instant pyro, and then watch the fireworks. Okay, so I need to save an insta pyro then, which means I need to give it a second because I got my things on cooldown. So let's just fish. All right, so I do this. And now I have a hot streak. I'm just going to not worry about that guy. I want a new mob that's in range. I have 8 seconds. Fireball into insta-pyro. Fireball into insta-pyro. Oh, and then you do get another one. Oh, well, I don't know if that was... I don't know how anything works. I want to do it again. Okay, so... Fireball, insta pyro. Yeah, that didn't do it that time, but maybe because I was too close, there was no travel time. I think the travel time's important. I'm just making stuff up. I have no idea. Firestarter is only the first cast. Okay, need a bit of travel time, but it's still not 100%. Okay, so it's like a trick. As soon as your screen starts glowing, just hit everything as fast as you can. I knew Fire Mage was going to be fun. Oh, man. I spent like probably 30 to 45 minutes wandering around the grocery store last night because I'd put together a pretty big list. I think in my head, maybe I'm still shopping for 2 people because I think I bought way too many groceries for just me, but they're like shelf stable things and things I can freeze. So I'm sure I'll get through it all eventually. Also, I was shopping while hungry, but I really wanted to buy baking soda and baking powder because I had all of the other ingredients to make cookies. And you never know when you want to make cookies, but you want to be prepared for the moment. It's very rare that I'll wake up in the morning and I'll go, I want to make cookies later today, and then I'll buy the things and then do it. That's not how it works. I need to stock up before the urge strikes me so that when it's like 3 in the morning or 11 in the morning and I just cannot for the life of me do anything other than make cookies in that moment, that I am prepared and I can have a cookie breakdown where you take a break from your life and you get down and you make some cookies. You got to be prepared. And I was going through the baked goods aisle, like with the salt and the sugar and the flour and the cake mixes and stuff. I went through that aisle 5 times and I just could not find it. Like, how can they be out of baking soda and baking powder? It must be somewhere, but I just could not find it. I ended up ordering some just with grocery delivery the next day. Dunes Games, thanks for the 12-month resub. Also, Yesler with a 6-month resub. We talk about food and living. I feel like I need a YouTube channel for cleaning and cooking. I need Mama Hazel to teach me to live like a bear. Just not go outside. I don't know if I want domestic duties to be my brand. I have a fair amount of resentment that's just inbuilt into me that it's kind of, I don't know. Part of me wants to not like cleaning because I'm female, I guess, and there's like a tiny hipster in me that wants to reject the trend, but then the rest of me like doesn't want to be messy anymore. I should clarify, I used to be extremely messy. I grew out of it somehow. It's a miracle. Christmas miracle, I'm sure my mom would think. But So I don't know if but I have watched carpet cleaning videos on YouTube and been like, oh yeah, that's the good stuff right there. I am going to get up very briefly. It's about the halfway point. I shall be back in a moment, or a minute. BRB. Glad to see we still got cat cam. All right, how are we doing? Level 20. Oh, level 20. I can get my mount training. Okay, I should do that like now. Also, my bags. A problem. Speaking of cleaning, get all of this out of here. I used to be so yeah, maybe I'll try to sell that. If it's got a sell price like 500 gold, then maybe I'll post it for like 50 and see if anybody wants it. You know, sometimes you can get stuff picked up by people's sometimes stuff will get picked up by people's like shopping scans at that price, and if my alternative was vendoring it, I don't have the patience to hold it for 500 gold. And even if I did, it's for 500 gold. You know, I would hold out for like $1 million, but nobody paying $1 million for that. So pet cam being cozy. How come you're leveling a mage? Hard to explain. I wanted to. I just wanted to. I do think I want to change my transmog actually. Mullen, thank you for the 7-month resub. Hey Hazel, how are you? I'm doing all right. I am. No, I'm gonna skip over that story. Nobody needs to hear that one. True, we all have a price. Comfortable running a few dungeons, or yet to get more abilities. I'm kind of digging questing for now. Well, dungeons might be good in that they would give me. Dungeons might be good in that. Well, I need to get my mount training. Dungeons would give me more time. I feel like the rotation would be different because you would, you know, I would do my fireball and then, or my pyro or my fireball and then my fire blast and then my insta pyro, and then it'd be like, well, now what? And I would have more time to think about that because things would live longer. Plus, when you're doing leveling dungeons, you get more time to really think about how your damage is doing relative to other people's damage, which is fun. Come RBG with me? What, like right now? Like right this instant? Do you need a healer? Do you like any of the Mage specific transmog sets? There was one, Mage sets. There's one I'm thinking of from like what, Legion? No, not that stuff. I don't know what I'm thinking of. I've lost it. Yeah, this stuff. Hellfire Citadel. What was that, Warlords? That just seemed like a very quintessentially Mage set to me. We have, wow, it's Shalina. Thank you for the 10-month resub. How is Kira adjusting to the move? She seems to be settling in pretty good. She likes her new bed. She's been sleeping with me at night. She's got more room now. Likes the stairs. Right this instant. Okay. Yeah. I'm coming. Sure. That'll actually be a great April Fool's Day stream title because I famously don't do RPGs, so I think that that's actually not a bad April Fool's joke to be like, I'm literally doing an RPG. Sure, yeah, why not? Whatever. Let's do it. Non-WoW related, but if you weren't streaming full-time, what do you think you would be doing instead? I've been doing this for so long that I don't know. I feel like when I first came down to the States and I was like getting my YouTube kind of off the ground like 2013, 14, 15, my backup plan was to go through a temp agency to try to find placement as like an administrative assistant or something, or like doing some data entry. I think data entry was my backup plan because I'm PC literate, like I'm computer literate. I can type quite quickly. I felt like I could probably find something, you know, something minimum wage writing copy or whatever. I think was my plan, although I wasn't thrilled about it. It wasn't a good plan. It would have been a place to start. Okay, are we joining Pugs? What just happened? I think I clicked accept and then nothing happened. See if we can try again. I think that one might have broken. Lord Maximus had oh, there we go. A 14-month resub. Maybe you can get some soup while you're at it. Declare that you hate bagels. I think I'm taking a bagel break. I think that I've just, for breakfast, I'm just living the oats and toast life. This is the backup plan. Best kind of April Fools. I like that, I think that it's good that it's the thing, right? Like, it would be not rude, but you know, a very typical April Fool's thing for me to be like, I'm doing rated BGs, and then you turn into the stream and I'm just leveling it out like normal. So, you know, if I'm actually doing it, that's something. Oats are wonderful. I am a new convert to stovetop oats and how easy they are. This morning, I made my little stovetop oats. Oh, oops. Yeah, my bad. Okay, there we go. I made my little stovetop oats, and then I put a banana on them, but these bananas that I bought are just like big beefy bananas. These are long bananas. And I'm not going to put away half a banana. Once I have peeled a banana, I am consuming. You can't talk about bananas. I feel like the quantity of banana was about equivalent to the quantity of oats in the bowl. I feel like I had a certain amount of oats and then like just as much banana, and then I was like, there's just too many. Sorry, my hand is making the camera go out of focus. There's too much. This is like a half oat, half banana bowl. So then I wanted to tip the scales even further, and I had bought some raspberries because I was at the store and I saw a little clamshell of raspberries, and I was like, I like raspberries. Raspberries for me. So I bought some raspberries for me because that's how I'm coping right now. And I washed just like 6 raspberries and I put them in there, and it was like a good morning. Breakfast was good. Lunch a little heavy. I made the mistake of I do these I think I've talked about them before. Like, I meal prep bean burgers, and then I'll put them on like a toasted ciabatta bun with like some spinach and some barbecue sauce, and it's a really good burger, but like it's too heavy. It's too much carbs, I think, for the middle of the day because I get tired. for like 2.5 hours after that, like maybe 3 hours. Like if I have that for lunch, I'm not waking up until like 4, and that's just like kind of valuable daytime to lose. So I need to make myself some lighter lunches, and I did not buy the correct groceries to be eating lighter and healthier. I bought not like horrendously unhealthy food, but you know, vegetables are coming later. Epioni, thank you for the 8-month resub. Thanks for being you. Aw shucks. Also Radnar with a 4-month resub. Whoop, whoop. Happy April. Yeah, ciabatta buns are truly my favorite. I wasn't able to get my favorite I was not able to get my favorite brand of ciabatta buns, but I had some house-made ones from there, and they're okay. They're all right. They're fine. Love Italian breads. I also bought myself a baguette. I bought a whole baguette just for me, and it's sitting on my kitchen counter, and I haven't even had any yet. I have not had any baguette yet. And I gotta get on that baguette. I gotta eat the baguette. It's all for me. I can't throw out baguette. I mean, I could, but that's sad. You know, a baguette deserves to be celebrated. Lex, thanks for the bits. To Love Beth, thanks for giving out some gift subs. Goodness, train got going. It sounds tasty. So I have some hummus. So in my freezer, I have a regular loaf of sliced bread. I have bread that I made, garlic herb bread that I made that I sliced and froze. And then I have the rest of those buns. I have 3 types of bread in my freezer. I don't want to freeze the baguette. I feel like it would be too hard to slice it when frozen. And if I pre-slice it and then freeze it, it's going to dry out. Like, baguette is the one type of bread, if it is indeed a type of bread, that I like to eat fresh and not toasted. Everything else, I'm fine with toasting it and making like toast out of it, which is why I'm not fine with freezing it, because I'm never, like, once you freeze bread, you can toast it, you can bake it. You're never going to get it quite back to the same amount of humidity and room temperatureness as it originally was, and that's how I prefer to consume like a really crusty bread like that. So what are you going to put on it? I've got hummus. I've got some garlic dip that I feel like I should not have bought. It was like at floor level, and at the time I was like, that's a good idea, and then I got it home and I'm like, it's kind of dirty. Like, it was sealed, but like but it was like, I wiped it down, and then I was like, why did I buy this garlic spread? But I will try it, and then if it's bad, then that's a shame. I have cheese. Wait, missing. Yeah, bread is a comfort food for me. Fresh bread is definitely, I'm carb fiend. Oh man, we have hummus in the fridge. BRB. Bread's soft, not crispy. That's just me. Yeah, for me it depends on the format, but for baguette, because I keep saying baguette as though it's like a category and not just a thing. It's because it's so crusty already. I feel like if you slice it and then toast it, you're just gonna get like a crust puck. You know, you want it to be kind of chewy too. Do you like the Sprite Darter mug set? I do actually. Yeah, I haven't worn it in a while. This character, she's wearing Necrolord Mog, and the loading screen refuses to, just refuses to reflect that. So she looks super cool, at least I think. I like this set. She looks super cool when she's in game, but she does not look that good on a loading screen. Goodness, Groka didn't give out 5 gift subs. Thank you very much. And then DJ493 with another 5. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Pog. I feel like I can't get away with saying Pog out loud. Is that normal? Do Twitch streamers say Pog? I don't think I'm supposed to say Pog. I think I'm just supposed to not say Pog, but thank you. It's great. Thank you very much. Oh, man. The subs. Yeah, it's one of those things that I feel like you type, but you don't say. Although I used to really meme on people that said LOL out loud, like that would say lol, and then I started saying lol, and I can't, like, I become everything that I hate. Say Pog instead. You can use it as a verb. Pogs in the chat. Is that a verb? Or I guess mobilize your poggers. Saying it out loud feels very how do you do, fellow kids? Indeed. Oh man, pogs is not a verb. Pogs is those little cardboard circular things that would come in a tube, and then you would get like the holographic ones. I had some Looney Tunes pogs as a kid. I didn't like or watch Looney Tunes, but I remember, is Daffy Duck Looney Tunes? I had a Daffy Duck pog, I think. If you're asking people to send them. I said out loud when I said pog out loud when I got my COVID. I'm sorry. I need to read this one more time. I know that's embarrassing, but that's the funniest thing I've seen all day. I said pog out loud when I got my COVID vaccine. And I've never been more embarrassed. To be fair, getting your vaccine, pretty poggers. Crocodile, thank you very, very, very much for the bits. Pacific Northwest WoW Pride. I'm here for it. Used to play in Pog tournaments. I don't remember how it was played. I remember the little slammer. I feel like it was mostly just kind of violent. That and Beyblades. Beyblades came a few years later. I feel like Pogs were 90s and Beyblades were early 2000s. Peony, thanks for the bits. Choo choo. The new Pog is weird for me. I did not like the lizard Pog at first, but it has been growing on me. Okay, I am gonna look at my talents, actually, because I have never healed an RPG on this, or at least not in a long time. And I imagine that the talents are different. So maybe I go for Abundance over Sen. Oh, I should Hearth so I can change my talents. I'm thinking Abundance over Sen Ward. I'm thinking I probably keep Guardian Affinity because people are gonna hit me. It happens. I could maybe look into Mass Entanglement. Soul of the Force is probably fine, although Cultivation might have some use. Lizard's been growing on you. It's come to the point where I actually enjoy the new Pog more than the old one, and I do not like change usually. Yeah. Speaking of not liking change, you guys see, and this is such a non-thing to be mad about, but you guys see the new Blizzard icon, the BattleNet icon? What are we thinking? Is that an April Fool's joke? Or is that real? Is that staying? It came before April Fool's. It's different and I hate change. I saw it and I was upset. And then I had to do some self-reflection and being like, why does a blue icon with a logo on it make me so mad? What does this say about me that this upsets me so much? And I think it's just that I hate change. But like the old one was good. Well, was it good? What makes an icon good? I don't know. Not this one. It reminds me of like some weird thing that Microsoft would try to sneak into their OS, and then you realize it's running, and then you open it up and you're like, what is this? And it's like, Cortana's going to help you pick your vehicle insurance. And you're like, no. And that's like what the logo is. It's the same icon. It's been color flipped, but it's a circle now instead of a rectangle. Yeah, I liked the square. Dunes Games, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Okay, we take an Abundance, keep him well charged. Yeah, I might keep Bash. It might be good for stunning. Sentences by Hazel. I'll grab Cultivation, sure, why not? Overgrowth is probably still good, although you could make an argument for that. I don't ever do RPGs. I'm just gonna make this up as I go along. Yeah. Ooh, Flourish. 60 yards, interesting. That might be good. But yeah, that might be good. Well, yeah, let's just take that. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it on this button. And then we want passive stuff. Unless I want Thorn. No, I just cannibalize my own. Well, I could put, so here, let's put that on that button. And then let's put Thorns back where Thorns goes. Azzy828, giving out a gift sub. Thank you very, very much. It looks like every VPN logo provider's logo. That was the icon when it was CaliNet into BattleNet when they launched StarCraft. So generic. I guess so. It's just odd. Early Spring gives you instacast Wild Growth, and then when you heal 6 of them, you'll get Full Bloom. Next Wild Growth applies Life Bloom, so that seems probably pretty good for RPGs. The problem is that Wild Growth is expansive. There's a lot of mana. It reminds me of Skype, and that's a terrible thing to be reminded about. Yo, Skype was such a big part of my life for a while. I used to use Skype for friends. I used to use Skype in like long distance relationships as a young adult. I used to use Skype for Arena. There used to be a whole thing because Skype, I think, and I'm fuzzy on the details. I'm not very technically proficient in networking stuff, but I think something to do with the way that Skype was peer-to-peer made it vulnerable for people to get your IP from it. So there was this whole culture. Skype is a voice over IP program that allows video calls and chat. It was acquired by Microsoft a while ago, but for a while it was like the verb for video call, the same way that people would use Zoom or FaceTime now. But there was this whole thing about how Arena kids would get mad at each other. They would have falling outs. They would scrape each other's IP through Skype and then like DDoS each other. That was a big thing, was DDoSing people after you hacked their IP through Skype. And then I remember when what was it? The Curse client voice chat came into play. And that was all exciting because it was supposed to be like more, like it was supposed to not open you up that same way, because I used to run Arena through I got my first VPN just so that I had a burner Skype account and I had a VPN so that I could pug Arena with Skype without opening up my IP address. Oh man, early spring with Flourish is busted. All right, I'll mess with it. I'll bite. Early spring with Flourish. So Flourish on shift 9. Yeah, let's do that. My guild was able to function pretty much primarily because of Skype. Bad for everything except international calls. Yeah, well, it did kind of come into play right around that time when people were transitioning away from regular phone calls onto internet services, and the whole prospect of you can make international calls without having to pay international phone rates was just insane at the time. Skype depreciated? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought that Microsoft bought it, but I haven't heard of it in a while. Lived on Skype between MSN Messenger and Discord just for text chat. Yeah, I used to chat with friends on Skype. Oh, MSN Messenger brings me back. God, we have Discord. Last getting bought by Microsoft as well. I'm going to hold on hope that Microsoft won't ruin it. They bought Minecraft a few years ago. Minecraft seems to be doing okay. Core Heart, thank you for the 6-month resub. Hugs. Wish everything gets back great for you, Hazel. Thank you. I thought Seed of the Primus was your battleground. Discord is a treasure. Discord, I've always been skeptical of... Hang on. I should pay attention. This is rated and I have no idea what the rating is, but the world's having faith in me right now, so I should pay attention. Yeah, I was always skeptical that Discord was going to be able to keep itself funded effectively. I think I've been assigned. Oh no, I'm going mid. Okay. And then I'll leave if it gets hairy. Okay. I'm gonna have to target heal. I don't have mouse over healing, because I'm usually scroll target healing. But that won't do any good over here. So I can wild growth, I can flourish. I've gotten off my mount. For all intents and purposes, we can just assume this is the first RBG I've ever done because it more or less is. I am not in voice. There is voice. I've elected to not be in it because of stream and because it was optional. Yeah, base frames for sure. No! It's okay. I'm back at Dren. I runs faster. I can feel my face getting red. All right, that's it. I'm not looking at chat anymore. It wasn't your fault. You didn't say anything, but I was definitely just like looking at my chat monitor. Ran right off a cliff. Oh dear, that is upsetting. Okay. All right, upsetty spaghetti. I'm gonna go help out over whatever's happening over here. Oh dear. I think the enemy team left. Running theory is they're very afraid of me, and my my power move of just diving off the cliff to assert dominance. Alright, well, I'll take it. That's some free honor. I have, I need I guess I should try to get a weekly cache. I don't really know what I'm trying to get from my weekly cache, on this character anymore. I mean, I'll take the win. I'm not mad. Yeah, because for gear, I need, I guess I need a ring. And then mostly what I need to do is I need to push some rating so that, or push some arena ratings so that I can get, like, once I get to 1800, I can start upgrading my gladiator gear higher. And having the honor will be good for that. But until then, so yeah, I'm sitting on 7,000 honor. Cap is 15k, so I'm about halfway there. They probably were leaving before I just wandered off a cliff. Oh, man. Watching for a while to start watching the stream. It's 1 a.m. for me, but it's fun watching the streams. Appreciate having you here. There are always VoDs. The VoDs will stay up on Twitch for months. I know people that the schedule doesn't work for them. They'll just put them on later. Oh, man. I still not 1400. You'll get there. You'll do it. I believe. I believe. 2, 4, 6, 8. They have to fill a spot, I see. I don't belong here. Yeah. What are my goals in this character? I guess, right now, if I was gonna do 3s, like not now, but like just in my life, I am 42% of my way towards the War Spiders. So that's like a good baseline. If I just keep playing either 2s or 3s, if I just keep queuing, even if I don't get any better than I am right now, I can still grind that out and have something to show for my time. Aside from the friends I made along the way. If I get to 1800, I can start upgrading gear. I've got a fair amount of Sinful Glad stuff. I'm missing shoulders, back. Yeah, I need shoulders, back. I have the weapon, which is nice. I need a ring, shoulders, back, ring, and that's it, because the gloves are... I should technically probably do more Torghast to try to upgrade the gloves, but that sounds like such a later me problem. I've seen people get glad with 190 gloves. I feel like that's not my problem. Gotta get a partner. Pug and 2s is the hardest road to 1400 you can take. I know a few people that I can play with. I did not pug this. I have a buddy. We've been playing Valheim. I made a clip of you running off a cliff. It does get funnier every time. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was not. Oh, man. I may have to actually, like, PvP in this next one. Valheim is addicting, to be fair. I can't decide if I want to play Valheim on this Friday's variety stream because, that is the variety game I've been playing, and I haven't beaten it yet, and I want to beat Valheim, but I am just so stuck right now. I just, like, on my main solo server, I just can't find a good place to farm mountain stuff. I can't find my trader. But the other option that I have is I could mess around on the TBC beta, but I don't really have a big plan for that either. Guy that I was playing with had to go to RPGs. They retired to playing Classic. But you found somebody, which means you can find more people. There's always more fish in the sea. I should get back in the sea. I'm gonna need something to do. I'm finding that my daytimes are pretty good. I'm getting more work done. I'm getting up in the morning. I am, for the most part, having reasonably good days. But like as soon as the sun goes down, and maybe it's because I don't have a couch, so I can't just like drown my sadness in watching television comfortably. But as soon as it's evening time, like you get after dinner, you get to like 7, 8 o'clock, and like 8 to 10 is just murder. It's just not good because those are, you know, what are you gonna do? Like I guess I'm just not into a game right now, so I have nothing to do but just like sit in the darkness and be sad. Audible, thanks for the 5-month resub, and then Anonymous Gifter giving out a 3-month gift sub. Goodness, thank you. I could maybe PvP is the thing that I need for that. I'm at college without my cat, so getting to see Kira is awesome. She has been such a ray of cat sunshine. I was having a tough time last night, and she was like, she does this thing where she'll crawl on your shoulders, and then she'll headbutt you in the back of her head. Like, she wants to rub her face on your face, and it's very sweet. And she was like coming to find me, which was nice. Did my first heroic dungeon in WoD. Someone yelled at me to go back to normal. Didn't try again to Legion. Oh man, that really sucks. And like, I get it. I've been there, but you know, it's just. I think people say things and they don't really fully understand that other people might hear them. You know, cats can get you through hard times for sure. Have you considered Final Fantasy XIV another shot? I'm just not really. I just don't see a need for it. I feel like if I'm gonna put time into an MMO, it's probably gonna be WoW. Okay. I'm gonna scoot in and pay attention and try to not. I mean, to be fair, I don't think I can run off a cliff with this one. I could just get lost. Dog just magically knows whenever I'm off somehow. They have a feel for it. Oh, do any of you watch on YouTube MKBHD tech videos? Because if you do and you have not yet seen the April Fool's video, oh my gosh, you have to watch it. It's the best. It was so cute. It was like the perfect April Fool's video that I feel like you could have gotten away with posting any day of the year. I would have been not mad about it, but it was like exactly the thing that I needed this morning, and it was really, really good. Variety stream tomorrow? Yeah, I think I don't know exactly what, but I will do something. However, I'm not gonna be here on Saturday, either this Saturday or next Saturday. Unless I move the time, but we'll see. I am gonna follow along. Yeah, no cliffs. They truly have cause to fear now. If I cannot throw myself from a cliff, then there's nothing that can take me out. That was my one weakness. Oh boy. I did that wrong. Is that a real mage? Oh yeah. I don't know how RBGs work. It's kind of just a lot. I die. Ouchie. Oh, I haven't thought about ThinkGeek in a long time. It's a lot more chaotic than Arena. Like, I don't know how you're supposed to keep track of cooldowns and stuff. I think you just... I mean, I'm sure people do. I don't think I do. All right, we got 2 healers here. I think we're on the other one, so I'm going to try to CC this one. I have a stun up in 14. I'm going to lane cap roar. Oh, no. I think we are not taking that, so we're going to slide on out of there. Can I stealth? Might take me a minute to get there, but... Never done a BG before, they look kind of fun. I've heard good things. Generally, the thing I like about Arena is that you have like a manageable amount of people involved, so you can aspire to reasonably know what's going on. Back up ruins. Ruins? Ruins? Where are the ruins? I don't come here, I don't go to the school. But yeah, in a battleground environment, when you have like 8 people fighting 8 other people, I guess maybe in voice you have them calling out like kill targets and CC targets, and you can kind of work together that way. But if you're not in voice, it really just seems like chaos. You just go where action is, press button, hope for best. Ooh, ow! Oh, there's a lot of people over here. Okay. Run in, get feared, hope for best. So like I have a stun up, I can see that this is a healer, I can see they're not DR'd like the other ones, although they are still sheeped. I can clone next, just to try to keep them from healing too much. I can hot up some of my pals, I can throw down some efflorescence for us to stand in. But I'm just like making this up, I don't know, man. Gonna root somebody? Melee hate being rooted. Top 10 tricks that Melee hate. Root them. Mind-blowing, groundbreaking, truly just really inspirational content coming from me. The innovation the PvP community needs. Hey, have you tried rooting a Melee? It's like really fun. Oh dear. What's happening here? I miss 5v5. I lived my entire life and never touched a 5v5 arena. And I was around when they were a thing. They just seemed like so much. I know you get brawls where they just shove like a bunch of people into an arena. It's a lot, you know? Okay, so what are we doing? We are not getting stuck on the stairs, evidently. There we go. That's not too bad. Oh, sorry. My bad. I'm not using Flourish very much. Probably because I keep forgetting the keybind. Ouchie. Oh, I didn't skin. My bad. Well, we took it for a little bit. Healing an RPG seems like healing a raid, where the objective is for everyone to stand at the fire. You're not wrong. Yeah, I guess I could get in voice. I would just have to mute game sound because I don't have those split out. Also, the Discord link was like a while back and I don't really want to look for it. I'm not doing damage, so I'm the only thing that would be super relevant for me would be figuring out who they are on so I can not cyclone them. But generally speaking, you can tell who they're on because their health is dropping. There's like people there. Okay, so they're saying... Okay. And this is fine. We can take a look at ruins. What if I just... Alright, so you got 2 healers here. They're kind of on both of them. Okay. PvP as a healer is stressful. You're not always the primary target. It kind of depends on the bracket. In very low rated PvP, incidentally, the PvP that you start in is also kind of the most stressful PvP to heal, which makes it tough for new healers because you, in very low brackets, basically people will just rush healers 10 times out of 10. And it doesn't get until later that that becomes not your best strategy, and then you get more time to actually like play. Because in higher ratings, it's kind of expected that your team is going to peel for you and that you're going to be able to kite, so that it's just a waste of time for people to try to sit you because they'll spend the entire time trying to touch you and they can't. But in low rated, when nobody's peeling and nobody's kiting, you just, you know, plonk on the healer and feed him all your cookies. Okay. Okay. Okie-dokie. Nice stream, off to work. Have a good day. Yeah, no, this is a team that I really have no right to be in. I just know somebody. I just know somebody. Okay, so we're bypassing that. We're gonna go have a little look-see up north. I still don't really know the names of all of these. I keep having to check them on my map, being like, okay, ruins, wait, this one, this one, this one, there it is. That's the one. So if this is good, then we can leave. But like, I'm helping. I'm not a total deadweight. I don't know if I'm carrying, but I'm helping. I'm here and I'm helping. I press button, make help. You got green button, you got purple button, you got nature swiftness button, you got stun button's a good button. Oh, you got bark skin button, help friend. Can dispel, get rid of Hodge, you know? That's the best thing you can do if you are playing, you're healing a group of people that are way better than you, is you just figure out how do you help them do their best, you know? Like, I'm not about to get any like super sweet like damage kills or any particularly clutch CC that nobody's expecting. But what I can do is figure out who's doing those things and then dispel stuns off of them and make sure they don't get rooted. You know, sometimes support is just the thing to do because it's easier and can still be very effective. Also, it makes your friends real good. People like getting dispelled out of roots. As a druid, you have lots of buttons that are fun just because they're annoying. You can in-cap roar, you can stun, you can Ursul's Vortex is my favorite, you can cyclone, you can root. And if you're not sure where to place those things, don't worry so much about the best place to put them. Worry about where to not put them. So basically, don't cyclone a target that is getting actively murdered. And then aside from that, just try to like hit a lot of people with it. Don't worry too much on your very first day of school whether or not you're interrupting like the most crucial keybind or the most crucial like cooldown that's ever happened. Worry about, you know, using them and getting more downtime, because especially at low ratings, just making sure that you're using and landing your CCs. Like, I'll use in-cap roar just for fun. You know, I got 3 people in range. We're working on him, sure, you know, in-cap roar will kick a spell. It'll confuse people for a second. You know, even if you're not stopping anything in particular with it, if you weren't going to use it anyways, it's a 30-second cooldown. You just got to chuck that thing out there. I finally have a non-zero rating, so I think you could say I'm getting pretty serious about PvP. What rating is this? The last one, the one that I fell off a cliff one, was like 1500, 1600 rating. I know the people I'm playing with, though, have much higher experience than that. Oh, can I save you? Can I save you? I cannot. Uh-oh. That will work, though. That will do. I don't even know how I got here. I must have just followed somebody. Hey, we're gonna win. I think. Fingers crossed. So far, so good. Looks good. Looking pretty juicy. Watch it for mind games. True. True, though. Just go. Seems like a nice day for a good walk. Nice, relaxing, sunny wander through a nice lake. Oh, see, that one was 1700. I got 730 honor from that. That's not so bad. Grounding totem love, grounding totem life. Mediocre Mage, thanks for the brand new sub. Welcome to this Girl Squad. Oh man, Priest Buddy goes mental with mind games. Between that burst and my rut burst, we can just decimate when the stars align. Yeah, I didn't check the charts, but neat. I was playing a tiny little bit of Holy Priest PvP on my Venthyr Holy Priest. And mind games, it's fun having a spell that can do like some good damage. Like that's the one thing I don't really do a lot on Resto Druid, is you can do damage as Resto. I don't generally bother. I figure that's a later me problem after I have fully and thoroughly managed the art of keeping my team alive and keeping me alive. I can worry about damage once I'm like real good with those things. And I've been saying that for years. Years and years and years. But with Priest, mind games, like, you know, you can get kills with it if you time it good, you know. 10 out of 10. Hi Hazel, Sif Gastrunk, how you doing? How are things? It is about, oh man, my class hall or Covenant hall stresses me out because I don't play this character very often. So I just log on and I'm like, oh, I don't know. There's like missions, there's like 3 callings, there's like weeklies up. He's like, I should pick them up, but am I really gonna do them? That doesn't sound like me. Creeping up the damage meters as a Holy Priest is so fun. He doesn't usually PvP as Holy. We practiced with a duel. He couldn't get me under half health, but I had wings almost 3 times. Yeah, Holy Priest can be quite tanky. I was enjoying that. I want to do some more of it. I'm torn between wanting to just commit to one character for the sake of actually like trying to learn it properly this season, and having both Resto Druid and Holy Priest both feel kind of fun right now. And also, whenever you're doing poorly on one, it's so tempting to be like, oh, well, let me just switch to this other one because that surely must fix all of my problems. Obviously, it's not that I need practice and that I never play and that I'm distracted and that I'm not terribly good. It must be my class's fault. I better switch, you know. Let me just get on my main real quick. Time for a walk before the sunshine leaves for the day. Later, chat. See you later. Thanks for bringing the community together. Having more fun playing an alliance with the community than I've had with friends on the Horde side. Scroll Squad's a good bunch for sure. There's plenty of good Horde. It's just a matter of finding the right group. Yeah. I can probably stick around for one more. I do have some more stuff to do today. Because of my epic crafting adventures of snipping out address labels that I'd stuck onto smaller envelopes and then painstakingly taping them onto larger envelopes. I'm not quite finished putting this together, and I want to mail them out today. So I need to finish that up. But assuming that we can, like, I don't want to just join for 2 and then dip. Gotta say, Lock is fun. I want to play with Warlocks. I want to find some Shadow play and some LSD. So like Warlock Shadow Priest and then Warlock Boomkin. Although I'm a Rusted Druid, so maybe Warlock Shadow Priest is the move, so you're not like overlapping CCs. Although Psychic Scream overlaps with Cyclone just the same way that Cyclone overlaps with Cyclone, so is it really a problem? Priest has like the same DRs as Boomkin. I don't know why I'm so worried about doubling up on a class. Did you get the Erebos RPG quest? Nah. Nah, I did not think that far through. Oh well. RIP. I'm probably not doing enough more to make it worth heading over there. Ardred Shadow play is the most fun thing in Arena from my point of view. It's just a big change for me. I've always been a melee healer. I've always healed Turbo and TSG typically. So I'm very used to just having my DP, like diving in with my DPS, which is arguably a real dangerous place to be, and it gets me into trouble a lot. But sitting back on the pillar and just healing casters and helping them kite, it's a lot easier. My toolkit is set up for that. But it's not what I'm used to, so I still think I need more practice with it. But that is what I should be trying to push as this season, I think. LSD is as a WoW arena comp, typically Warlock Boomkin. I don't know why it's called LSD. Jinx, thanks for the 12-month resub. Happy 1-year subiversary. Thanks for making the last year more fun. Got you. Scroll Squad pretty nuts. Oh boy. Arena comp names are the best. Truly. I have not been watching the last couple of AWCs, but maybe I should take another look at it. What's up, Pace? What's up, Cedric? How you doing? You gotta enjoy watching as the Zugzaggers charge in and then start dying to dots and then run back to the pillar. Yeah. Time is it where you are? It is 8 minutes to 5. It is 4:52 in the afternoon. Yeah, so usually pretty close to the end of stream time. I'll do one more RBG before I go because I joined this group relatively recently and I don't want to dip on them too fast. Also because we're like winning. Although now that I've said that, we're going to lose the next one and then I'll feel bad leaving on a loss. I've always been very susceptible to that like fallacy of you want to leave on like a good one. And I have in my life on multiple occasions kept queuing way too long because it was like, okay, let's leave on the next win. Let's get one more win and then sign off on a good note. And then as soon as you start doing that, you just do nothing but lose. And then you can tank, like I've tanked like 200 rating that way before. Just like, oh man, just one more win. Just one more win. The one more win game is a very dangerous game to play. It's one of the reasons why I really like that the vault rewards. What? I have one piece unlocked already? Darn, RBGs do good for that. That's why people do RBGs. Man, oh man. Yeah. But you still get honor even on losses, which is nice, so that if you just spend like an hour losing, you will eventually still be working towards that vault slot. I thought LSD was a lock LER, dude. You might be right. I might be mistaken. I might be thinking of something else. Divine Devil XD, thanks very much for the tips. Want to say thank you for continuing to provide amazing streams. You're the best. You guys are really far too nice to me. I don't do a whole lot around here. I will take it. I will not complain. But I'm very happy that people find what we do to be valuable to them because it doesn't take much from me to do it. I just show up and play games, man. It's good stuff. What was the music? I guess I did. I put that together somewhat recently. I wanted a new. I needed a new donation sound because it used to be the same as a sub sound, and I would just tune it out. Like my brain had learned to delete that from my ears, so I was missing donations. So I pulled out my iPad and GarageBand and was like, all right, let's get some auto-generated drum loops in here. You know, mess around with the instruments and make something groovy. I restrict myself to 2 consecutive losses. Have you seen the Wowhead April Fool's mount? No. Can we see meters? Last one had damage like this. I forgot to check healing. Apparently I did some last time, which is good. I didn't look, but I think as an R druid, I kind of have a here, I'll leave this over here, a advantage because I can just hot people and have hots in a lot of people, and it'll work good. Market. Oh, we're in the same one again. Okay. What is that emote? Bop. Bops for sure. Oh man. What if the next Hazel era is the SoundCloud era? I was gonna say SoundCloud rapper, but that doesn't sound right. SoundCloud Beatsmaker. You hear that Paris Hilton's a DJ now? I could have a Paris Hilton DJ phase. Although, digital DJ. In person, about that. You know, pandemic aside. Seeing people, 3 dimensions, I don't know about that. DJ Funk Master. And it's just like the cheesiest beats, and there's just like really obnoxious like saxophone riffs. You're like, what is this advertising music from 80s infomercials doing here? Oh man. Join the stream, but do you play Necro Druid? Yeah. I run Necro for Adaptive Swarm. I don't know if it's optimal for RBGs, but RBGs are a bit out of character for me. I say usually in Arena as though I do that very often. If I'm on the Druid, she's in Arena. I don't do it very much lately, but you know, could change my mind one day. You never know. Miracles happen. Plus, you know, until 9. I feel like once 9.1 starts getting cooking, like off the ground, ray testing starts, I'm going to be a little bit more busy then, and I'm probably just going to want to chill with something really relaxed. But right now is kind of like that really juicy in-between things period where I'm not raiding, I'm not doing Mythic Plus, and I'm kind of just looking for something to occupy time with. Go. No! My friend! I don't actually know that player, but we're in the same RPG, so we're all friends. Until proven otherwise. Uh-oh. Oh, I can... Oh, no. What can I do? Who can I stun? Stop it. I'm gonna get cycloned yet. Oh, more of this. More of that. More of that. AoE heals. AoE heals. You're not healing threes. I hope we're getting their healers. I am like out of mana, which is a good sign. It means that I live long enough to get out of mana. It's a bad sign because I'm out of mana. Oh, I have Innervate. I'm a druid. What do I mean? I remember when I kept using Trank and then trying to move because I remembered when you could Trank and move from like 5 years ago and I kept thinking that was still true. Alright, well now Innervate's gone and so is my mana, so I hope we've won. Stop shellmanding. I will Cyclone you. Oh no, my mana! My mana! I have Shadow Meld back up, but like they need I'm drinking. Don't mind me, I'm having a snack break. I feel like I'm at like a daytime learning at a place that I don't normally go to, so I don't know where the cool kids eat lunch, so I've just found like a stairwell to sit in by myself. Alright, that's 50%, that'll do. That's what I mean about wild growth being expensive though. Have we not taken this yet? How are we doing the rest? Oh, we're kind of even the rest of the way. We're a little behind. We need to take this. They're just kind of trickling in. Oh, shoot. Darn it. I think they were... Yeah, he had like a lot of cooldowns up. Generally speaking, if somebody has like a bunch of defensives up, it's not a bad idea to cycle on them because you're waiting out their defensives and then they're not also doing damage while they're up and then people can just do damage after their defensives end. It's not always a good call, but it can be. And then whenever it's not, you just say, well, but it was though. What do you mean that was your bloodlust? What do you mean? You gotta tell me these things. Get yourself killed for more mana. I've had my... Oh, never mind, I died again. I was gonna say, I've had my single death of the day running myself off a cliff, and I want to keep it that way, but I think I did die to, like, actual combat later. Okay. Resto Druid. That's the stuff. See, I am helping. Oh no. Oh no, Grar. I wanna fix Grar. I wanna fix Grar. Can I make it? No! No! I wanna fix Grar. I fix. I don't know why I drop words. I don't know what that PvP voice is. It's not good. I need to stop that. It's just, you know, when your head is busy, you know, head empty, no thoughts, and you're like trying to heal things, connecting words and articles seem unnecessary. Sometimes I fix. Fix good. Good fix. Ow. Fix me. I'm kind of flattered that they're hitting me because it means that they've noticed that I'm healing. Which means I'm helping. I can stun soon. Am I wearing a Battle Master's trinket? I'm not. Okay, good. I saw that person had a Battle Master's active, and I'm thinking, should I be doing that? Do I have one of those on? What trinkets am I wearing again? What day is it? Who am I? What's for dinner? Okay. Give me 9.1. Yeah, I think that a lot of us are starting to feel that. I definitely finished a lot of my goals. I guess I have oh, collectibles still to do. Mounts, pets. I definitely never did finish up with like mounts and pets and stuff. Okay. I'm just gonna stay here because it's in middle. So if we're just waiting for an offense, then that's gonna be the faster place. Also, they are showing up. So from here. I see that boomkin on the edge. You think you're sneaky. Yeah, that's right. Oh, don't get hexed. Oh no, I got hexed! I was trying to shift. I saw it. I'm in a battleground. I saw the hex cast. I was like, oh, I should shift. And I was reaching for the button and my brain did not get that task done fast enough. It was working on it. I feel heartened that I had the thought. It was not fast enough, but you know, the thought was there. There was an attempt. I tried. The bar's not very high around here. I keep thinking that I have the talent. Oh, I'm out of mana again. I keep thinking that I have the talent for the second rejuve, and I do not. So I'm just refreshing my first rejuve, trying to put a second one up. Okay, it looks like we're doing okay here. I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna drink, probably. I'm gonna drink on my favorite snack spot in the stairs. How will you ever complete your collection goals while losing the game? You have a point. You still have to get me Keystone Master? Yo, you gotta invite me to stuff. You gotta invite me to stuff. I will, if I am around and you invite me, I will hop on. I will do the thing. I'm ready to flash concentration some meows. Inspiring me to want to try healing. I just don't think anxiety can handle that much pressure. You can always try, and this may not, you know, your mileage may vary depending on where your head's at, but what I in the past have done is just find the lowest pressure form of healing. So maybe that's LFR, maybe that's random regular dungeons, maybe that's unrated battlegrounds. And then just tab out of chat. Just take your chat window, turn it to your combat log or to an empty window, or just, you know, hide it behind some stuff. Just don't even look at it, and then pretend they're all robots. And because it's very low, you know, you're not doing this in a mythic raid, but because it's really low rated content, it's not such a big deal. You're not going to miss like really important callouts or anything. And then that can give you some time to feel a little more confident in your abilities, because I think that's where a lot of my anxiety comes from, is I'm terrified of somebody telling me that I'm not doing very well when I know they're right. If somebody's just flaming me just because, and that happens, it's the internet, and I know, I'm confident in my abilities, I know what's going on, I know what's happened, I know why it's happened, I know what I'm doing, they can't touch me because I know they're just wrong. But if I am still new enough and unfamiliar enough for doubt to creep in there, that's the worst. I hate being told that I'm bad when they're right. So, so for me, part of the solution was doing easy content and doing enough of it to really work up my awareness and practice and get better and understand things more thoroughly, so that when I did get to harder stuff and people would try to flame me, which is not terribly often, but you know, it happens. I'm not concerned because I know in my heart that that's just not right. Or I did mess up and I know what I did and I go, oops. And part of that is just exposure, right? It's just spending some time working on it. But yeah, it's definitely not easy. slash concentration, some meows. That is a fair point. I had been meaning to do a video just kind of putting together tips on, I guess, healing Mythic Plus for Keystone Master, because I had just freshly come off of that and I was like, oh, I know some stuff, but it was you know, like a month ago now, and I feel like it's kind of fading, but I still have some footage. I guess I would have to just try to scrape it together, but I could definitely stand to do a couple of keys to refresh my memory as to what was going on in the first place, because I left it too long and I got kind of busy, and now I'm like, I knew I was making videos. I don't remember what they were. Like the Fresh 60 thing I had been working on for like literally 2 months, so that was almost done, but now I'm kind of looking at an empty Word document being like, I knew I had plans. I had that one idea where I had that stream highlight where I'd explained how to find your next easy mount grind. I was going to try to find that, but I've forgotten what stream it's in. I need to go digging through my VoDs and try to figure out what day that was. Yo, if you die, it's your fault. Buddies and I timed to 17 with 4 minutes to spare with a 3 melee DPS comp. Goodness, congratulations. Do you think it's personally an easier class to heal with? Oh, Priest, 100%. Druid has too many buttons, man. Druid has so many buttons. And Druid also, well, it's better now. I think that Shadowlands Druid is easier than other earlier Druid because at least you have some tools to get healing in quickly. I tried to snap, but I didn't actually want to because snapping's kind of hurts a little bit. I guess I'm just bad at it. But Priest is just easy buttons, easy life. Druid, I have having a moment. I haven't run the numbers and I have not done the math, but I would be shocked to find out that Holy Priest had more spells than a Druid. Druid, just because of the different form spells, a lot of them are not relevant, but they're still there. Naptaker, thank you for the 22 month resub. Oh, we are so close to 2 years. Goodness, thank you very, very much. Yeah, Holy Priest PvPs does seem kind of fun. I want to mess with it too. I think you're right. This is going well. Oh, I wanted to power infuse them, but then I realized I'm not a priest right now. I can't believe that we just won 3 RBGs in a row. Lit. I'm on board. I'm here. I'm helping. I mean, I'm not helping a lot right now because I've just been like AFK here, so I'm no longer top spot, but something. Oh, we need to do something. Okay. Corey. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna take this. I can't take a thing by myself. So I need to either go where the people are, or if the people are dying, I need to go to where the rezzed people go to. So I guess I'm gonna meet up with the warrior and follow them as they decide what's up. Because there's no sense in rushing into a base that's like a massacre just to die late. Oh dear. That's not what you want to see. That's not the move. Well, I guess we are running in because there's our fearless leader has disconnected and lagging out. Maybe we can save this. I'm here. I'm helping. Oh no! Oh no! We were so close. Oh well, still some honor. Feels bad to dip after the first loss, but I legitimately do gotta go. Oh man. Thanks for having me. See you later. Major con about Holy Priest is how stationary you've got to be. Yeah, it's definitely for sure not as mobile. Plant your feet. Play chicken with Florence release. Oh, in PvE? I am I don't play chicken. I lose chicken. Chickens eat me in PvE, especially depending on the Florist Swirly. Some of those are toasty. I must go. Tomorrow is Friday, which means I shall be back with a variety stream. I haven't decided. It's going to be either probably Valheim or TBC beta. I don't know which yet, but we'll figure that out tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you for all of the support. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for lurking. Thanks for watching from the future. Thanks for admiring my cat. She's very precious. I agree. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.